Hey there guys, it's Matt from the Across the Tabletop, and tonight we're just going to talk about the data slate, what we feel about it, how we think the changes are going to affect the game and the meta and that lot, and how our games have been performing the last couple of weeks using the new data slate changes. We'll just quickly recap over the data slate changes if you're not already aware of it already. GW have put it out on the community page, is that correct? It's on the community page?
Yeah, community under downloads.
Under downloads.
Facebook.
And they've just released a new one saying what books are being currently used in there, so you can have a quick look on the GW page for that as well, and hopefully that'll help you direct you some of the rules.
Content validity update.
Yeah, and all that does is just indicate to what GW are expecting the books to be used in the tournament scene, and for those that are looking at trying to make their games balance, what books they should be using, what books they shouldn't be using. So hopefully that helps those out, and they're trying to keep the game as balanced and as fair as possible, even though they still bring books out that are just super overpowered.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they update that like the day a codex comes out.
Well, we had that whole 2-week notice, and I think that might be somewhere the tournament sort of lead towards. If we get a codex out, I think we should wait until the FAQ comes out before we allow them into the tournament scene.
Yeah.
I think that would be a more...
Well, I think the UKTC do that, don't they? They say like a codex has to either have been out for 2 to 3 weeks or have had an FAQ.
Well, it's usually a week before the final cast submission, which is generally 2 weeks before the tournament. But I think that's a bit harsh, because the only reason they get an FAQ is because of results from the tournament scene. So it swings and roundabouts there. So the balance data sheet has some incredible stuff for the Marines, Sisters, and
Heretic
Astartes, the Armour Contempt, the big one that everybody's talking about. Was it worsening AP of weapon system, incoming weapon systems?
By one, yeah.
By one. I think it's just...
But not below 0.
But not below 0,
so
that's correct,
you don't get an extra save.
You don't get AP plus 1.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a key thing to know, because I think some people go, oh, great, my Marines are now really, really good against bolters. Well, no, they're still the same.
I mean, even the core rules, it does say you cannot reduce AP below 0.
Yes, yeah. And then, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, how have you thought that would have an impact on your own Marines?
I haven't had to play my Marines yet, but I'm really looking forward to trying out my Blood Angels. Or my...
the Sanguinary Guard. 2+ armor save, we're going to do much better now.
Yeah. I might even bring out a few Death Companies to try. That might keep them alive a bit longer.
I mean, the rage with the Terminator Storm Shields, I think they're going to slightly drop away now. Same with the
Storm Shields don't get the bonus for Armour of Contempt.
But that's going to be the Sisters getting a bonus, all the Marines across the board getting a bonus, and Heretic Astartes. Yeah. The only person that doesn't get any bonus in Power Armour are the Custodes, which I think there's probably going to be more Storm Shields out there now.
I've already got a 2-up save.
I mean, I'm a bit divided on the whole Armour of Contempt thing. I think it's a good idea, but it's just been done wrong. They shouldn't have just done this whole blanket approach to all Marines. I think it should have been set units, so not dreadnoughts.
So you reckon Armour Contempt should have gone on to vehicles?
Infantry.
Not vehicles.
Okay, so you think about infantry only? That would have been the great key word to have.
Power armour.
But then you lose the... Yeah, I think you just don't take bikes anymore. Yeah, I think they're gone. I mean, I don't think the dreadnought list, the vehicle list...
The bikes are tougher. They're tough as 5.
They are, yeah.
Well, they could probably... Infantry and bikers should get it, I'd say, because they have Space Marines on them in power armour.
Well, you could say that with all of them, though.
Are they classed as vehicles?
No, the bikes aren't, no.
Yeah, so shut
up.
No.
Anything that doesn't have the vehicle keyword.
Yeah, basically not a Predator, not a Land Raider. Don't get me started on Predators and Land Raiders, that's a different conversation anyway. But I think anything where you can see a person, which isn't a dreadnought, basically. So war suits, no.
Yeah.
The Invicta war suits, no. But infantry, definitely. I just think it's been done in the wrong way.
It's very good. It's very, very good.
You reckon it's just too quick,
broad?
Too broad to just try and patch them while they wait for their Marine Codex point 2.
I don't understand why Sisters got it, really. I know they're in power armour, but they're complete... If you look at the lore, they're not Space Marine power armour.
No, they don't have the black carapace to allow them to function the same way as the power armour does for the Space Marines.
Yeah.
It's just an easy way to...
It's the same as the Inquisition having their special
They're
power
just doing
armor.
like, here's a keyword, it does this.
Yeah. I mean, I get why they've done it.
No, my biggest pet peeve is there's a stratagem that's the same name.
Yes, the stratagem, Armour Contempt.
For mortal wounds.
For mortal wounds for vehicles. Which is, like you said, it's one of those crossovers they didn't really think about. It was more of a patch, I reckon, because of the meta being so one-sided.
And how did it work out for you, Matt?
Yeah. Well, you got that. You were playing Custodes with the extra AP.
Yeah, so
it nullified that. Yeah, considering every thing that came in range was
we
before
saw good
9
examples
inches.
of it working well.
We did with my Eradicator surviving longer than they should have.
Yeah.
We've just done a battle report. It's up on the channel. It was to do with the Custodes Dread Host, and the AP made a difference, but didn't make a difference in the sense that you didn't get your extra AP. Because you get one when you're 9 inches or closer, and it just felt that the units that you were attacking weren't just instantly being removed.
Yeah.
I actually had to make an armor save, and that makes the difference.
It works really well against my Tau, which will be on the channel soon.
Yeah, you'll see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked really well. That was a good game.
It was an amazing game.
That was as a Tau player now facing Space Marines, I don't feel guilty.
No, that you did say that
after the changes to Indirect Fire as well.
Yes.
And Armour Contempt, I'm like, I don't feel guilty for bringing my models out.
Yeah, and putting 40 shots down the range. And,
yeah,
just making me remove models. Yeah, absolutely.
Centurions.
I've decided to bring the Centurions back with that 2-up save, 4 wounds. There's not much out there at the moment that are doing flat 4 damage in combat.
Well, it came up in our game. Won't spoil anything, but it was what they got 2-up save.
2-up save.
1-up in cover.
1-up in cover.
And then you're on an objective as well, so you can give them +1 to the save.
The Imperial Fists have a special stratagem that allows them. I want to say it's unwielding in the face of the foe.
No, that's the Gravis one.
Is that the Gravis one?
Yeah.
There's a special Imperial Fist one that allows you to take an extra armor save as long as you're within 3 inches of an objective. You'll 2-up save. Yeah, 2-up save with -1 AP onto all weapons coming in. So you need an AP3 weapon. Just to get it to an AP4 weapon, just to get it to a 3-up save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which there aren't many of.
No, there ain't many AP4 weapons out there, apart from your plasma.
Yeah, my plasma. They're only 1 shot each though. Well, in that game, my explosions did more.
Yeah, and they were toughness 5, so they weren't doing the damage you'd expected.
Yeah.
So then, so that's the Space Marine Armour Contempt. That makes
I think it's a good change
massive
overall.
difference.
It doesn't apply to. Also, we haven't mentioned Storm Shields, Relic Shields, and Combat Shields.
Or the Grey Knight Dread
Sacrosanct Shield,
Sacrosanct Shields.
shielding.
Yeah. So anything
and
that is a shield.
Stack with anything that also reduces armor.
That's correct. Yes. So those 1,000 Suns, that discussion there with the 1,000 Suns, because it's worded differently, they get an extra armor save because of the damage. One weapon system, it has nothing to do with
AP,
the AP, so they get that as well.
Yeah.
But it only works on damage 1 weapons. So those damage 3 stuff out there, I think the army now has to look at, the meta has to look towards doing damage 3 sort of across the board to actually kill Marines now, especially 1,000 Suns anyway. Just to make sure that they die faster.
That's when the whole meta changes to that and someone brings a Tyranid Horde.
Yes.
So you got 5 shots of damage 3. Here's 90 Termagants.
Yeah.
Will it apply to Ultramarines Victrix Guard?
They got a shield, so yes.
But have you got the app? Because I don't know if their shield says Storm Shield, Relic Shield.
I don't have the app. I do have.
I don't know. I remember reading something about it, but I never actually.
But haven't they just been Legend? No, they haven't had Victrix on a guard.
No. Victrix.
But the other things that have happened on the data slate is we've seen Custodians lose OBSEC across the board. Everything but their troop choices. I think that's a really bad decision to make. That was the one thing that led, I think, the Custodians to a position where, because of the limited models on the board, they were able to actually contest the objectives. I think you struggle with the larger army footprints.
To go back to the Victrix Guard, they don't improve the save. It's got an Ultima Storm Shield, just gives them a 3-up invulnerable save.
So it would work on that. You'd get Armour Contempt on that.
So you'd ever...
Damn!
But they don't get the +1 armour save, so...
Yeah.
No.
Well, they got 2-up save anyway.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Quality. Yeah, that's even better then.
I better go. I've got 2 more.
You've got 2. But you could just say your Victrix Honour Guard. Look, there your Blade Guard. Blade Guard veterans are now going to be running as your Victrix Honour Guard from now on. Yeah, wouldn't be too difficult to convince your opponent that's what they're doing.
Yeah, if you want to test it out, we can.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
The Custodians have lost their.
Yeah, I mean, bikes.
But before we get on to specific army changes, should we discuss Indirect Fire? Because that's one of the big overall.
Actually, you touched it.
Okay, yeah, go on then.
Yeah, so Indirect Fire has been changed. Now, if the unit that's indirect firing does not have line of sight to the unit it's shooting at, it's -1 to your ballistic skill.
Yeah.
And the unit you're shooting at gets +1 to its save.
Yes. Yeah.
So you can be technically -2 to shoot if you're going through dense.
Yes.
Yeah. You minus your ballistic skill, and
or
then you
any other way to get -1 smoke screen.
Smoke screen, yeah.
From other weapon systems that are out there that you can
Anything
just
that does
throw stratagem on.
Yeah.
I hadn't tweaked the +1 armor save.
Yeah.
Yeah, and +1 to their armor save. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make much of a difference to those that have got a 2-up save, but any AP onto those weapon systems that are out of line of sight do suffer from the extra armor save.
Most line of sight indirect fire stuff, apart from maybe some Imperial Guard stuff, which isn't affected by this.
Yeah.
Is only like AP 1 or 2.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Like my twig buggers, which will never see the light of day.
No, they've been gone now. You might as well just redact the FAQ now.
Yeah.
Then bring as many as they want.
They're only -2, which becomes -1, and then you get +1 to your save.
Yeah, and they're already hitting on 5s, so now they're hitting on 6s with the -1 ballistic skill.
Wait, why would it become minus?
So they're -2 normally.
Yeah.
If I'm firing at a Space Marine.
Yeah, but not every army is giving Space Marines.
Please, everyone's got Space Marines.
50% of the meta, 50% of all tournaments you turn up to, 40 to 50% is always going to be Space
I'm trying
Marines.
to think if I faced Space Marines in my last.
Honestly.
tournament.
We'll look at the, because I've downloaded an app, not an app, I've took some pictures of the last couple of meta games, the last tournaments in the last couple of weeks, and you see that the number of Marine players are usually around the 40 to 50%.
Yeah.
So if you turn up to any tournament, you should, by percentage-wise, always play at least one Marine player.
I was thinking
Because we've done team tournaments,
Yeah.
you can only have one Marine.
I was just thinking if I did face one,
Unless you
I did
played
face
Chaos
Grey
Death
Knights.
Guard.
Yeah.
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 Someone in Power Armor. I played two sisters, and then I played Death Guard. You know, there's always going to be someone in Power Armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Who you're facing, there'll be someone in Power Armor.
So, Imperial Guard, Astra Militarum, ignore the indirect fire change.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
I don't get it. Why would Guard just make sense that they just don't have it?
Because the whole thing
So
is
they
that
do.
they've got like guys on radios calling it in.
Oh, and you
whereas-
don't think the Tower have got these special drones out
Stealth
there?
drones moving around, like pinpointing
Yeah.
locations with their
I can
interlink
understand-
systems.
You could make that argument for Death Guard. Yeah, they don't really care; they're just firing. But anybody that's got an artillery piece knows the first rule of it: you need a spotter.
I mean, to a certain point for game balance, you have to go, okay, this makes sense, and you go, well, that's too Tower would be too broken,
yeah,
so we just have to say they don't get it.
I guess maybe they
Yeah.
could have. Maybe it's something I'll do in the new Guard Codex. Is if you've got an infantry squad with a Vox operator, you can see it.
yeah.
That would be good.
Fire away.
I'd like that. Yeah.
I mean, that would make sense.
That's
Why
how-
they've just given them all free war gear.
Oh, which I love.
Yeah, and if you don't have a Vox
yeah, maybe.
within the unit, then that couldn't. Oh,
Maybe we
insight.
There
We've
we go.
hit it now. We've broke the
I've
secret.
already, as soon as this data slate came out, I opened Battle Scribe and I was like, I'm making an Imperial Guard list.
Yeah, because I wonder if they're going to do something similar that they did with the Tyranids Vox links.
The Synapse links.
Yeah, instead of having synapse links, you have a Vox link, and if you don't have the Vox link to the artillery piece, it gets the -1.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that could be cool. That would be interesting.
but-
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, that's the change to indirect fire. The only
Yes.
other sort of like
Sort of about aircraft.
game, well, aircraft is the same. You can only
Yeah.
have 2 in Strike Force games.
Yeah,
or
they've
1 in
repeated the same
whatever the other one
FAQ
is.
from the last one and put it
Yeah.
in.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the same, yeah.
Oh.
But then there's Bodyguard.
It had to be.
It had to be changed. I don't know if it's the right change because those units that were specialists for that role have now just become inert,
We had a game
useless.
we played at yours where one of your wardens was inside on the other side of terrain, and then I think you had your Vexilla in front of the terrain, and my Riptide was right in front of him. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't shoot him.
Yeah. No, I think. I wish they would have just turned around and said the unit had to be the closest model.
It's just Lookout Sir now.
Yeah.
But that's then just Lookout Sir, isn't it?
That's what it is. It's just Lookout Sir now. Bodyguard is just.
But you can go down to the last one. It doesn't
Yeah,
have to be
you can
3.
have one model and still give Lookout Sir, but it is Lookout Sir. So if you're closer to the character, you can shoot.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that's how it should have
really
been.
does. I mean, remember that tournament in Newbury? I was playing against a Death Guard guy. He had 2 or 3 characters sat out on an objective, and there was 3 Blight Lord Terminators or whatever they are
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
hidden behind.
Yeah. Death Trail Terminators. Yeah, you just couldn't
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
couldn't see them, couldn't
Yeah.
shoot them, and even if you could, they were like can't kill them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it for the completely like faction agnostic rules.
Yeah, there's a few other changes I saw to Tyranids.
Yeah, they were the kind of top line changes.
Tyranids had no change in the deck slate.
No, they've had a new date slate change, haven't they? Basically, they've said from now on, Stampede is no longer
That's
a
in
thing.
the other one.
In an update, yeah,
That's
in
in
another
the
one. So that's going to be.
Yeah,
there's a couple of tournaments being played this weekend.
So there's no more Psychic Awakening for them. There's no more White Dwarf Crusher Stampede.
Yeah, the Leviathan Crusher Stampede's gone now.
I was looking forward to running just a monster list.
Does that mean that they do not anymore have the reduced damage by 1 now?
That's a Crusher Stampede rule, so yeah.
I thought that was in their codex. So.
Yeah, I've not.
Oh, you're not ready yet.
Yeah.
Not ready yet. Okay.
Like I have like 1,000 points of Tyranids at the moment. That's a slow grow army.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was the 4-pin one they got and that, and I think they still got it in the new one, but they lost the 4-pin one and got 5 up now.
There might be some.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, but we'll find someone with the codex and ask him.
Charlie around. Like.
Charlie will get round here next. And then we saw some changes to.
Should we just go through the list?
Yeah, go on.
So we've got Sisters. They get in a Miracle Dice every turn now, not every battle round.
I think that's going to be massive. I think that is going to be massive.
Extra Miracle Dice every turn. Yeah.
It's a guaranteed Miracle Dice, so they don't have to kill you to get it, which means that if they get rolled really poorly in turn 1 or turn 2, they can still pull that charge out in turn 3.
Yeah, I don't know Sisters that well, but the other one they've had is change the second bullet point of Stoic Endurance for the Order of the Valorous Heart. To read
it's to do with the AP, similar to Salamanders.
Yeah, because they had AP.
Yeah. They had the reduction of AP 1, but now with Armour Contempt,
you just can't reroll wounds against them.
It's incredible. Yeah, I think the Salamanders are going to be up there now at the top of the list with the Marines because of that no reroll, and we've seen how no rerolls on a unit is massive because that means if I roll a 1 on my las cannon and I want to re-roll it in the wound phase, you can't do it.
Can't spend a CP. You
matter.
Can't use a lieutenant. You can't do nothing.
Yeah, and we've seen how that affects armies. Hey, Rich, with your Custodes miracle, so can't re-roll everything, and then you go to Be'lakor and they can't re-roll anything either, and you just find that it's so difficult to take down armies that turn off re-rolls.
Yeah, something with an innate re-roll deny is horrific.
Yes.
A stratagem. Yeah. Again, we'll get to Custodes in a bit.
We do Astra Militarum next.
Yeah, these are good.
Yeah, so they've gained a rule called Hammer of the Emperor. If every unit from your army is in the same regiment, you gain this keyword. And basically, any 6s to hit auto wound across the entire army.
Yeah, that's I think it works out about 20 to 25% more effective now.
Yeah,
the army is.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to face Charlie because he rolls so many 6s on his demolisher cannons.
When you turn your army into 20% more effective on the board, just by auto wounding on 6s.
Does he run everything from the same regiment though?
Well, he was running.
He did at the tournament because we weren't 100% sure on how they were ruling the Tempestus at the time.
And Tempestus have now been said, you don't give it anymore.
Yeah.
The supplement that they had.
So he can still run Tempestus in his army to get the regimental, but he won't get the additional explode. He won't get the wounding on 6s, automatic wounding on 6s with the Tempestus themselves. Yeah. The rest of the army will. The Tempestus won't.
No, but doesn't it mean? It does not mean every.
It says excluding Militarum Tempestus.
Oh, okay. Right, I'll show you.
And they weren't sure about it because you could take Tempestus, but it doesn't damage you from taking.
We've got the stuff that was in there before.
Just don't get it.
Lehman Rust models get 2+ save.
Yeah, amazing.
Still no Baneblade on a 2+ save though.
No, but we've got that new Rogel Dawn tank coming soon.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's going to have a 2 save,
I saw some rumour today about the
Toughness 9,
I saw some other rumour about a new vehicle for Space Marines, new Primaris Dreadnought.
Ooh.
A melee focused one.
It's just the Ironclad
Blood Angels with Tingle.
Yeah, it's the replacement for the Ironclad essentially.
Yeah. Then we've got the tank orders. They can do it. Yeah, that's stuff from before.
Yeah, they just confirming the changes they had before.
Yeah. And then they just changed the infantry squad to 60 points, so they raised it by 5 points.
I thought it was 10. I thought they were 50 up to 60.
55.
Okay.
Before. Yeah. But all their war gear is free.
Yeah. Which if you were to...
Even a heavy weapons team counts as war gear.
Yes.
Las cannons for free.
Maybe that'll be something in the...
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's about 200 to 300 points more now in an average list. Just with your upgrades.
But I did a list before and after Data Slate updated on Battlefield. It's about 230 points.
And I think we saw this in 7th with the Space Marines taking free transports. How much different this makes to the game when you decide to give a unit free war gear. It just hopefully it doesn't break it.
Are you talking about like 7th edition?
7th edition, where you could take the free transport, and you would get nearly 300 to 400 points, 500 points extra units on the board. And when you think about the Rhinos and the Razorbacks and all with all their war gear upgrades, and they were just free.
Well, Razorbacks can take las cannons and stuff.
Assault cannons. We even saw the auto cannon plasma back on the table again.
Wow.
Because it was just free, and it was like, why not?
Yeah, cool.
So hopefully that doesn't break it. We won't see that change until 2 weeks, while all the guard players get all their collection back out, dust all their minis off, and put them on the table.
Mine are nice and clean because they're in a box, but I could bring them round for a game if you want.
Bring it.
It might be a slow one.
We'll see how it goes.
I'll take a day off.
Awesome.
Because I have to read the book again.
Yes. So that's
take you a day just to set up.
60 infantry.
That's
5
guard.
tanks.
Do you want to do the custodians bit?
My phone's
being our resident custody player in our local meta, our local gaming club. The amount of friends he's made over the last couple of months.
It's popular.
It's been a good challenge.
Well, we saw Richie P's relationship go down when the new Dark Eldar stuff came out. He's just slowly bringing back up his reputation now that they're becoming more even. He hasn't been playing them as much.
He's still the only player who's beaten me at club with his Dark Eldar.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Since the new codex, anyway. Which has only been like 3 months, 4 months.
3 months. 3 months. Yeah.
So
January, February.
Everyone hates me. So good job.
It was before Christmas, wasn't it?
No,
the custodian
book.
book.
It was New Year.
Yeah, and then we were waiting for the FAQ and it came out and it was like changed already.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because they dropped all the points and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Whatever. Yeah. It's like 4 months.
So point number 1, we've talked about already. Only troops units have obsec in custodians detachments.
Terrible.
I would have been fine if I just changed it to characters. Don't get it.
I didn't bother me at
infantry.
all. I thought it was
infantry, not characters. Or something
I thought it was very fluffy.
Yeah. So did I.
Yeah. It's a shame Terminators and Wardens don't have it anymore. Yeah. I like the Wardens because they've got the 4 attacks.
Again, I was saying earlier that there comes to a point where you have to balance the fluff, because if the rules were based on fluff, custodians would kill everyone.
Well, everything would kill everything, and everything. Yeah.
It would just be who goes first.
Yeah, good game.
Sorry, I interrupted.
So that's fine. No, I think. I've only played one game since this has landed. You can see it for yourselves. Didn't really have much bearing on that game because I lucked out massively.
Yeah, overcommitted.
Yeah. No, and I rolled really well on charge rolls, but
that's rare. That is.
You can only use certain stratagems once, which is Esteemed Amalgam, Emperor's Auspice, and Martial Discretion. I'm not very familiar with Esteemed Amalgam. I think you can change Martial Guitars or is that?
I thought that was the Martial one.
Yes, Esteemed Amalgam, I think, is you can put a unit in another shield host ability for that turn.
Yes, you can,
which I've never ever used.
Well, I've seen it used because we've been on the channel. We had one of the guys come down and do it. He put his one of his hosts into the Dread Knight host, which allowed him to re-roll his charge for nothing. Yeah, for 1 CP.
Is it 1 CP? Yeah. So they're all now, and obviously Emperor's Auspice, which we've touched on, now means you can only use your turn off re-rolls on 1 unit once per game. I'm in 2 minds on this. Yes, when you have that and Transhuman, and you can use it in your own turn twice.
Well, every phase, isn't it?
Every phase.
Yeah.
I was spending most of my command points on just 2 stratagems for the most part.
Yeah. The odd re-roll. Yeah, the odd re-roll here and there.
Now it's more of a do I use it now thing, or I'll just chuck on Transhuman and hope the other guys survive. Again, I need to play it a bit more to really get to grips with it, but I think really it could have been once per battle round or twice a game, something like that.
I think make it 3 CP or something like that.
Or 3 CP for 4 models, or more 2 CP for 3 models, something like that.
Yeah, I think a CP change would have seen it more accepted in the community. To just have it wiped out and say once per game, I think was a real big.
Because it was a bargain at 1 CP. It was nuts.
I think once per battle round would have been interesting, because it was like, do I use it in my charge phase or do I use it in my shooting phase? And I think that would have been the ideal place to have it. Because if you charge something and then you bounced and you're like, oh, my return fire is I'm going to turn off all the rerolls, but then I still got his round of combat next turn. You know, would have been a really interesting concept to look at. Yeah. So yeah, I would have liked to have seen it once per battle round, and maybe a CP increase as well. I think that would have been, like you said, 2 and 3 would have been more efficient then.
Yeah, I agree. But there we go. That's life.
That's what GW did. Yeah.
And then lastly is Arcane Genetic Alchemy, which is basically
Arcane Genetic Alchemy.
Alchemy. Yeah, sorry. No copyright there yet.
Yet.
It's too funny not to do.
Is essentially, for those who don't know, it's this Custodian's version of transhuman physiology.
Physiology.
I don't know that. Yeah, I'm missing the point here. It's right over my head.
And also, Emperor's Auspice can now only be applied to infantry units. I didn't know that you couldn't. That you could apply transhuman.
Emperor's Auspice?
That's the reroll.
10 off rerolls.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we were playing it as. I didn't realise you could put it on Dreadnoughts.
No, neither did I.
Yeah, but.
No, the transhuman you could put it on Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, but I used it on the Dreadnought in that battle rep.
You couldn't put it. Oh, I didn't even realise you couldn't do rerolls off of Dreadnought.
Take that video down.
Yeah,
and put it again.
take it out. The shame.
Yeah,
I've cheated again.
You fouled. You didn't cheat. We'll call it a foul. I think that's a better terminology nowadays.
You can have an extra 5 points.
Yes.
There you go.
I'll take that. Yeah. Anything to get me over that 40, 50 point margin.
Still not there yet.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, so apparently you could put transhuman on dreadnoughts and bikes.
Yeah.
The bikes I could kind of get because it is still a rider on a bike.
Yeah.
But they are toughness 6 anyway, so.
You can do transhuman on bikes for the Marines. I don't understand why they took it away from your bikes.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
They're not my bikes. They're
Well,
my Emperor's bikes.
The Emperor's bikes, yeah.
Just borrowing them.
Not my
So,
Emperor.
is there anything else we got on there?
No, that's it.
That's
amazing, there were no points drops or increases. There were
yeah.
tweaks
well,
to
we've only
Trajan.
just had the NAT member data with the points changing a month ago, so.
It was before Northampton, wasn't it? So it's been a couple of months.
2 months? Is it February?
It was not long after the
February.
codex dropped, actually.
So yeah, I'm not expecting any points changes until after June.
I am
July.
surprised they didn't increase the points back on Trajan and possibly the shield captain on the bike.
Trajan's still a bargain.
Still a bargain, absolutely.
Such a bargain.
Yeah.
I'll take him every game.
Yeah.
So not much changes to AdMech.
Well,
yeah,
I don't
really
know.
familiar.
I have never played AdMech.
Yeah.
I own no AdMech, so I'm afraid I don't have any
It is
experience
one of the
there.
few lists.
It's
that
one
we
of the
just
few
don't have at
architects
club.
that we don't have at the
Does
club.
anyone own AdMech at the
I
club?
don't think so.
John Westwood used to own Admech.
Who's
And I
gone?
played him in 7th. I think.
Oh, wow.
Um,
I thought he owned his NIDs.
no, he's had loads of stuff.
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah.
So yeah, there's minimal changes for the AdMech.
Yeah.
There's minimal changes for Eldar.
Well,
apart from
Space Marines after AdMech.
Oh, okay, sorry. I haven't got mine. My camera's my phone's been my camera.
Basically, it's just salamanders get the. They changed their basically one of their chapter tactic rules to you just can't reroll wound rolls against them like the sisters.
Because they had the chapter master chapter tactic generically was reduce AP from AP 1 weapons to 0.
Yeah.
That's what their chapter tactic was, and now they get the reduction of AP 1 already. They got rid of that one, and again, like the sisters, you can't reroll wounds against them. I think that's pretty beastie.
And then it's Chaos Space Marines is the same from last time where they get
2 wounds?
death to everyone.
Oh no, they ain't got the 2 wounds. Oh, sorry.
Rub salt in the wound.
Not yet. Couple of weeks.
My shield drone's got 2 wounds. Yeah, they got the death to false everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on a 5, is it, or a 6?
6+.
6+.
So you can negate it or get it on a 5+.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what?
Why is it death to everyone?
Death to the fault. They gave it across
goes
the
against
board
everyone.
now.
It's not just against Imperium anymore.
They
Oh,
took
where's that?
everyone.
Is that sort of here, though?
Yeah. Each time they make an attack, it doesn't say against an Imperium unit. It just says every time they make an attack. In melee.
So it used to be called the Death of the False Emperor.
It's still called that.
Yeah.
But,
It's still called Death of the False Emperor, but the Death of the False
but they
Emperor
get it against everyone.
had a keyword of Imperium units only.
Yeah.
Now they've
did it?
taken the Imperium
Yeah.
units out, and they've just said across the board, every time you attack now on a 6, every unit, will just explode into additional attack, which is amazing.
Wow.
Because it used to be an extra roll as well, so you took all those and you had to roll it, but now you get to just add it to your pile of hits, which is amazing.
So I just read the Death Guard one, which I completely missed.
which is the troop OBSEC.
The Terminators and Death Row Terminators
get OBSEC.
Well, it's the same because the Thousand Suns Terminators get it.
Yeah.
So all they've done is they've tried to bring the chaos in line with each other.
Yeah.
You know,
Bit
those
more
two,
standardised.
the standardised. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you've lost yours. Yeah, Custodians lost their Terminators, OBSEC, but you know, Death Guard is getting OBSEC, which means I think you're going to see a lot more Terminators.
Well, there's a there was a tournament that ran on the weekend it came out, or the weekend after, and they ran the data slate.
Yes.
Or I think it's the week after.
It was last week, wasn't it? Essentially.
I don't know. I've lost all track of time since working from home. And the guy that won, he was mostly Terminators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the Death Guard.
Do you know? You probably know more about Drukhari than me.
The Drukhari, well, they haven't had much of a change really. Changed the second bullet point, so they got the hunters changed a little bit. The move characteristics have changed on some of them. Technomancers, flesh. So what's that? What's this one? So you subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of the attack to a minimum of 1. So they pretty much got they got the FAQs that they had previously. So nothing's really changed.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a carry on from the old one.
We should have dialed in Rich Pearson.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no change really there. That's the exact same change from the last one. It's just been brought over.
Okay.
Yeah, Necrons are the same.
Necrons is the same.
I got excited because I forgot that they
Orcs are the same as well.
I forgot that they just kind of have all this stuff brought in from the previous ones. Oh, new stuff's got core, brilliant.
No.
I was like, oh, hang on.
The only thing that was new was to do about the Pyromancers, because they had the bodyguard rule for a certain specific type of unit. Now it's moved on.
No,
it's up in the bodyguard.
Harlequins is next. I have never played Harlequins. What was it? They had a rule which was an aura of, I think it was -1 to wound.
Yes.
Which is now you pick a unit within 9 inches.
Yes. Yeah.
A core unit within 9 inches. Yeah. So you can't go on vehicles.
That's right. Yeah. The void weavers were just a pain. Now they've put the core aspect on it.
They've also had a price increase. To 130 points per month.
They went up nearly, I think it was 50 points on one of them.
45.
And then 40 points on another. So essentially, the army's now, if you were to run those 9 void weavers, is like 300 points more now.
Yeah.
Which is about right. Yeah. We're going to see a lot more void weavers on the board anymore, and we're going to see a little more flexibility. See, I would have liked to have seen what they did with the GSC and allowed them only to bring 25% of the Harlequins into a mixed.
Oh, for the Brew Brothers thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did like a Brew Brother thing instead of having, the way they've done it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The other thing is, do you know I told you about that horrible sniper they could do? The one that could get 12 hits from 3 shots?
Yeah.
So one of the warlord traits was favor of Kegarak.
Yes.
Kegarak, yeah. Which was like you could roll your dice and then change one into a 6. But now I've changed it to only when you make a melee attack, a melee wound roll, or a saving throw. Not just an attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so change it from
so you can't shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant.
So you won't see that anymore, probably.
They still get to re-roll an attack.
Oh, they still got the luck
of the last god.
Yeah, so
still got that.
You'll still get in a fair few.
But then the Star Weaver went up in points as well to 95.
Yeah. Which is damn right what it needed to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were just too cheap for what they did. That whole can't hit me on a 4, can't wound me on a 4. Yeah.
I need to get to more tournaments because I've never faced.
So it wasn't wounding on 4; it was a -1 to their wounds.
Yeah.
So if you were wounding on 2s, you're now wounding on 3s. 4s, 5s, 6s.
And they have if they take the right side after, then they have like transhuman, but for hitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So hitting on 4s across the board with no buffs, you just couldn't get it any better.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Then we move on to the mighty Tau Empire.
Well, some of the rules was you could move 20 inches, jump out your Harlequins, they could then shoot, and then they could jump back into another vehicle.
Yeah, they got a stratagem for because I heard about this on one of Mikey's Hearthstone War.
That's what it is. I heard it from another YouTuber.
Yeah,
and it was just
like they could move, get out, just disembark, move, shoot, and then a stratagem. So after they've shot, they can move, and at the end of that move, they can embark
on a vehicle again.
Isn't there some Tau stuff that can do similar to that?
There's fire and
fade essentially, because fire and fade is the Eldar one, but they're all the same. Yeah.
But I only do it on crisis suits.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But considering these were troops with no fly keyword, They were just basic, really fast.
Oh, they have
Eldar.
they're like
acrobats,
so they
aren't
can,
Yeah, they're clowns. Like tightrope walking.
Yeah. they're infantry and they have flip belts, so they can just move over stuff.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Goddamn clowns!
Here come the clowns.
The clowns.
Ta'au Empire.
Ta'au Empire.
Yeah. So Montcar got nerfed.
Yeah, I'm surprised with that. I really didn't see that coming at all.
The combination between Montcar, so basically Montcar was.
I was going to say, yeah, remind us what
Montcar was. When you're for turn 1, when you're within 12 inches, you get an extra AP and you can reroll ones to wound.
To the nearest eligible
target.
unit.
Yeah. So now they've gotten rid of the AP bit.
Yeah.
And you just reroll ones to wound.
Yeah.
And that combined with Armour of Contempt against Marines
just nerfed them out of the game.
Oh, devastating.
Yeah.
I still think it's better than Carry On.
I think
unless you can
on.
spend 2 turns hiding and then just come out turn 3.
Well, I don't know. Unless you hide 2 turns and then deep strike in turn 2 and make all your charges. Yeah.
It worked quite well,
Do you hear something? It sounds like diarrhea.
Yeah. Well, it was just, there's a 9, I'll re-roll that. There's another 12, there's 11, there's a 9.
I've never used it, but the Farsight Enclave.
Oh, yeah, thanks for the tissue, yeah.
Sorry. Farsight Enclave's got changed to, it used to be when you were within 12 inches, whatever you're targeting counted as having a marker light.
Yes, that was the Tau Sept one, wasn't it?
No, Farsight.
The Farsight Enclave one, yeah.
So
which
that
was
is now
absolutely huge.
Because you could deep strike and you got marker light.
Yeah, deep strike within 12 inches.
So now it's
all of your broadsides, not all your broadsides, all of your crisis suits are now +1 to hit. So they're hitting on 3s. They're
you can get a stratagem to reroll everything.
Reroll everything. And then they were re-rolling ones with an extra 8.
What does the 1 marker light give you again?
+1 to hit.
+1 to hit.
There's no table anymore. Each marker light is just +1 to hit.
+1 to hit.
So if say a unit has 2 marker lights on them, every time a unit shoots at them, it consumes 1 marker light.
Okay.
So it's just +1 to hit. There's no fancy table anymore. It's much simpler.
Much
You
simpler.
like 3 times.
Yeah.
Not know this. It's like ping ping. Just bounces off.
You're like, I'm just hiding. I don't
Just
care.
too trusting. You've probably seen making up.
Well, sometimes I do. When I say stuff like, this character gets full rerolls to hits and wounds. It's like, really? It's like, yes. I'm not making this up.
You've been playing that wrong?
No.
Okay.
I could be.
All your weapons ignore invulnerable. So okay.
But that got changed. The Farsight Enclave one got changed to 9 inches. You have to be within 9 inches.
Yes, so that whole deep strike now is just out the window.
Yeah.
In that sense, you can't deep strike and get it straight away, which I think makes sense. It stops at alpha strike because you could alpha strike, and that's what the issue was that people were suffering with the Tau was that you could have a set of stealth suits. You could alpha strike the unit in on turn 1.
Because you could also combo that with a stealth suit homing beacon. Come down within 3 of your turn 1. 3 of your stealth suits outside of 9, but then you're still in marker light range with the old version.
Yes, it was just so.
Here's 9. Well, no, here's 9 times 3 shots of -2
I think
damage.
the Las Vegas Open showed that as the biggest downfall to the Tau Sept because or Farsight Enclave. Because there were so many people saying I was tabled in turn 1 or turn 2. There was so many people conceding games in turn 1 and turn 2 because of that. They had to do something about it. So well done G for doing something about it.
Yeah.
It's a shame it's a big nerf to that Tau Sept, but
it's not massive. It's still good.
I think it's huge. Yeah, in the sense that you can't do the alpha strike that made a difference to the game.
You do then have to be within 9 inches, which is scary for Tau.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's get within 9 inches of one of your
units. And considering they've just had a bigger nerf underneath it with that reduction in range for charging.
Yeah.
No, for charge because they lost the ability to stack the minus to charge with their grenades.
Oh, they're only stacked with like terrain and stuff though. Yeah.
But it made a difference.
Oh yeah. I'm sure it did. Then broadsides got core taken away.
Yeah, I can understand it.
With the way I've been playing them, it made no difference. It made no difference at all.
But it's the missile pods that were making the difference.
For the indirect fire,
Yeah, with the
I'm
indirect
actually
fire.
thinking of changing mine. I super glued them on just in case I wanted to change them, so I could just break the super glue off.
Yeah. But if you were playing with all the missiles,
I'm too lazy to magnetize them.
You play all the missiles and you get that movement on it, and you get the rerolls, and you get the Moncar, and you get everything else. Yeah, I can understand why they've took the core off them.
I mean, you still get Montclair and stuff like that, but and then what you said about the last one is the charge thing changed.
It's only
it
one.
doesn't stack.
Doesn't stack.
Yeah. And then they changed. Then they brought back the Imperial Knight and Chaos Knight thing because they didn't have it in the first version.
Yes. Yeah. So essentially on that one it said they lost all of their OBSEC, and now they brought out another release so they get their OBSEC. So
yeah, they had it in the previous days, like, and then they brought out this one, and like, oh wait, we didn't include that.
We've missed that
His
out.
version 2.
His version 2.
Yeah.
So that's the data slate then.
And I overall think it's pretty good.
It's
got me a lot more excited.
Well, to be honest, there was a big dip within the community the last few months with the way the game has proceeded to go since the Custodians came out at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, each successive codex has just been stronger and stronger and stronger. Meaning that Necrons and Space Marines, who were the first two, are just pretty much, they're not unusable, but they're struggling.
Yeah.
And it's great to see that there's intent by GW to kind of balance it out a bit more. Which is why it's called a balanced data slate, isn't it?
I do wish it was a bit more frequent.
I'm liking the frequency at the moment. It gives it enough, because it's been about 3 months since the last one.
They're doing it every quarter, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
they're saying every quarter.
Yeah, every quarter's fine, but when you get something like the Harlequins, where you get the top 5 all Harlequins,
I think
they
the
need
hardest
to address that.
but the hardest thing is do they do the FAQ 2 weeks after, and then do a balance sheet 3 months later, or and then do the chapter approved, and then do screencasts, and this is all just to the point changes. It's just a balancing game.
They need to address broken stuff.
I think it's very difficult to address broken stuff until you've seen what it does on the
you
game.
have to wait until there's been a few tournaments and stuff like that.
And that's it. And I think that's because someone's just going to find it, like the Dark Eldar, that the Drukhari have just gone from strength to strength every time they took a nerf, because the Codex was so
versatile,
so balanced overall with all their units.
Well, it's like
that's had 4 hits now.
Yeah, that's still good.
And they're still good.
Before the change where they said you can't do Crusher Stampede anymore, there was that Swarm Lord that could dish out 50 wounds in one round.
Yeah, well, I think the data slate has been brilliant. I think it's given it a new life to the competitive scene.
Oh yeah, I'm much more excited now.
I'd like to see the changed Armour Contempt slightly, maybe the vehicle, especially the relic vehicles.
That probably won't happen until the Codex comes out.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I think we've got that now until the Codex 2.0 comes out, correct? It was a little bit of a swing to try and balance the Marines out. I think it's going to be over. So we've got a couple of lists, a couple of tournaments that are coming up over this weekend itself, and you can see already. I'm having a look at the lists that are coming out already. We've got 20 Imperium factions alone. So this is Sisters Admech, 23 of them. So 23 people are taking Imperiums. This is at the team tournament down in at New York.
How many players are in total?
So it's 115 players, 23 teams essentially.
115?
Yeah, 115.
23% or 23 people?
23 people.
Okay.
So over 25. No.
Well, considering
over
this,
20%.
considering there's 23 teams, and so every single team has taken a sister custody Admech.
Oh, so you mean.
So
are there only allowed one Imperium army?
Yeah, they've got it down as one Imperium.
Oh wow.
Yeah, army, and then they've got Space Marines as separate.
Oh, okay.
Chaos as separate. Yeah, so you've got 23 of those. You've got 15 Space Marines, which are half the meta. Like I said, 15 of the 23, and then the Chaos super factions, which is like the Chaos Soups, Chaos Space Marines, T-Suns, Death Guard, 17.
Wow.
The Xenoses super factions, which are Necrons, Orcs, Tau, 30. So out of all the players and all the teams that are going,
how many?
Every single one of them have got 16 Tau. That's half the meta again. Hive Mind, 12 Tyranids. Now this is before. This is the balanced data sheet with the old Codex. So they've still got the Stampede. I believe, because the Stampede got ruled this week and not last week. So they're still running the Stampede. And then the Eldar super faction, 7 Eldari, 1 Drukhari, 5 Harlequins, and 3 Asurani. It's going to be interesting to see, because this is going to be the first weekend realistically with the new balanced data included in its big way. So we're going to see a great shake-up, I reckon, of the meta this weekend. With that,
no Ultramarines. Only 1 Drukhari player.
That surprises me.
There's more Orc players than Harlequins players.
Yes.
That shows you how big that nerf was.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. When they got the points increase, that was it. As soon as they had that points increase.
But the bike lists are still really good.
I think that's where they swung to. Yeah. And then you've got the another team tournament. This one is in Ottawa, so this is Canada. Ottawa, Canada.
Oh, it says Canada underneath.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. I can read, honestly. Super factions, we've got 15 of them. So that's Sisters, Custodians, Admech, and Imperial Knights. Only one Imperial Knight player here. 9 of the super factions for the Space Marines. But I just want to point out, I believe this one has Imperial Fists. Or is it that one? Yeah, the other one had an Imperial Fist. One Imperial Fist player. So,
no Ultramarines player.
No Ultramarines player again, yeah.
Blood Angels.
Blood Angels, they've got one Raven, 1 White Scars, 2 Iron, 1 Death Watch, 2 Space Wolves, and 1 Dark Angels. I think they've got
more Dark Angels.
Yeah.
And no Salamanders.
No Salamanders yet. I think they're all just trying to get together now.
They're all spraying everything.
But this is a team tournament as well, so
yeah,
you know it's hard to can them. What's that?
I've seen a lot of people making it like several Discords on one have like list channels. People show lists that they're coming up with. There's been a lot of Salamanders on there recently.
I bet you it's hard to get a can of
green
or whatever it is they use for Salamanders.
Okay. And that's it. And then we've got.
Oh, so there's 120 players. This doesn't add up. They haven't got everyone on here.
Yeah, they haven't got everything on here. It's just that.
They're missing like.
So there is the Bristol Team Tournament one happening this weekend as well in the UK, and I believe they've got 40 Imperium super factions, 5 Sisters, 11 Custodians, 8 Admech, 1 Militarum, so 1 Guard player, 8 Grey Knights, 7 Imperial Knights. That's 40. Out of the
7 Imperial Knights.
7 Imperial Knight players. Yeah.
Oh, this is the Canada one.
I think they've got them down. I think I've got it down as both. They haven't updated it.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
but I believe this is the Bristol one.
Right. Okay.
And then we've got 12 of the super factions, so 4 Dark Angels, 1 Space Wolf, 2 Blood Angels, 3 Ultramarines, 1 Salamanders, 1 Iron Hands.
No smelly fists.
No smelly fists. No. Yeah, just typical, really. I wasn't there. That's what it was. Not representing this weekend. Chaos super factions, 2 Chaos Soups, 1 Chaos Space Marines, 8 T-Suns, 5 Death Guard, 1 Demons. It's unusual to see them. And then 3 Renegade Knights. That's 20 in total. Xenoses, we've got the 8 Necrons, 7 Orcs, 11 Tau, 26 in total. Hive Mind has got 17 in total. So you've got the 1 Forces of the Hive Mind, so that's a mix of GSC and Tyranids, 10 Tyranids on their own and 7 GSCs. And then the Eldari have got 2 Jukari, 9 Harlequins and 7 Asari. I mean, I can see the interest of what's going to be going on there. It's more of a test of waters to see if the Marines can do the damage that they can. So I haven't seen any Grey Knights, so there's not. I think Grey Knights have dropped off. I think they'll come back hopefully.
One of them,
1 Grey Knight player. But I think their build has slightly changed, so they're either having to go back to their closet and find out what they got in the cupboards to bring out again, because now the Grey Knight Dread Knight host is gone. The Dreadnoughts. We'll see.
So I've got one on here, which is the Gravel Pit GT.
Yeah.
Which is in England. It doesn't say where. It's 26 players, 5 rounds, and it's using the data slate.
Yes.
Death Guard 1, going 5-0.
Oh, this was the weekend just gone.
Yeah, this is the weekend just gone.
So we're looking at the weekend of the 19th of April.
Yeah, so it was Death Guard 1, 5 wins in a row.
Wow. Okay.
Then it was Custodes, 4-1. Craftworld 4-1. Harlequins 4-1. Tyranids, it says Old Crusher Stampede. I don't know.
Yeah, it means they're using the old Crusher Stampede before the Crusher Stampede was ruled out.
They only went 3-1-1.
Okay.
They actually drew. Wow, I told them that's rare. And Eldari, which was, I'm guessing that's Dark Eldar and Quins.
DDs, Drukari and Harlequins.
So they went 3-1-1 and they came 5th. Yeah.
I can see the Death Guard now producing on the big table because of the 2 palm saves and Terminators and the reducing AP.
I'm not a fan of the Warhammer competitive Reddit, but I do like. There's a guy called JCMS85.
Yeah.
And he always does the Meta Mondays report.
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of YouTubers I think use it to do like little videos like this, but it's great. He does a great rundown of like
what's happening in the meta.
Some of the big tournaments. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we've covered as much as we can. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing the units that we've not seen on the table for a while. Say the Terminators coming back now. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be
really good.
Terminators, Thunderhammer, Storm Shields aren't going to be as much now. We're going to see more of the, I think, the Lightning Claws and Relic Terminators with maybe a Lightning Claw
or just some good old-fashioned Power Fists and Storm Bolters.
That's what I was about to say. I'm actually thinking of. I've got some old 2nd edition metal, like
the baby ones.
Yeah,
the baby ones.
25mm bases, like goblin green bases and everything.
Yeah.
I've got some of them in a box somewhere, and I think, oh, maybe I get them out for my blood angels.
I mean, paladins for Grey Knights might see a comeback.
Paladins, yeah.
We might see a comeback in the.
Loris Tenets for.
Oh no, custodians are gone. Yeah, but aggressors might come back. We were saying earlier, aggressors might be back on the table now because of the low AP and mass number of shots. Because I think if you're looking at the Armour Contempt, you've either got to be going with mass number of shots with no AP.
Yeah.
Because it.
Or at least AP2.
Or at least AP2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want it to be damaged too as well, just in case you go 1,000 suns.
Yeah. What about you, Rich? What do you reckon?
Yeah, the aggressors is a good shout. I'm wondering whether you might see more dreadnoughts on the table. Because now they're -1.
Ooh. I mean, the -1, you might see more, but I don't think you'll see the what's it? The Psyker, terminate the Psyker, given the 5 fortification. What's it?
Psychic Fortress.
Yeah, because of the AP now, Psychic Fortress is only giving you a 5-up invuln. You're going to get a 5-up or a 6-up across the board anyway now.
Most stuff, yeah.
So you might sign that
-3 weapon
build
becomes only -2.
Yeah,
so
it's now got an extra unit of something cutting around instead of a Terminator.
I mean, it's useful against those plasma weapons, isn't it? Where you get the -4.
Yeah.
If you're saying it's against other Marines, they're probably going to have some plasma kicking in there.
Well, Marines are the baseline, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about the team tournament we went to when I faced the Dreadnought list first. That'll be a very different ball game now. Oh my god.
Oh yes, yeah. The AP difference would make a massive.
And well, you might see more. As I said, probably at the start of the video, like Predators and Land Raiders.
Might see a
Maybe
comeback.
Not Land Raiders, but
I did have a look at a Land Raid. It's still 300 points. It's still not
much.
enough to bring on the board at 16 wounds, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's one of the
for 300 points.
sorry old tales of modern 40k at the moment.
It's the bolter, the Hurricane bolters and assault cannon just don't pump out enough shots for the AP that they do, and then the 4 las cannons just don't have enough damage.
Yeah, I'm just thinking how much more.
The Z6 damage is just not enough for them anymore.
Armour of Contempt, and I'm thinking my Blood Angels. I generally run them with 25 assault intercessors.
Yeah, they're more survival.
They're going to survive so much more now.
That's
they're going to get up the board and pump out 5 attacks.
I think we'll see an increase of guard players. Hopefully, play more bodies because of the free upgrades.
I did just buy 2 more Hellhounds and then found one I hadn't built.
I think guard are going to see a nice little comeback. GSC Chaos Marines are going to see a nice comeback now. They're going to have a good bump up. Thousand Suns and Death Guard. We've seen already Death Guard
did play,
doing well in the meta.
Friend Charlie, who was running Night Lords. With my Tau. And I conceded turn 3.
You conceded, Tau conceded.
Yeah, I mean, I was feeling poorly, but like I was like, so I wanted to go home. But I was like, I turned 3. I had 2 crisis suits left, 1 commander, a unit of 7 fire warriors, which took out a unit of warp talons in melee.
Oh my goodness! You got combat Tau on the table again.
And then my broadsides. That was it.
Okay.
What was the why? How?
Why?
Did you just get everything into melee and you couldn't escape? Or
yeah, I think I was too aggressive. I was too fast. And then he's a melee army, isn't he? So he's very fast.
He's a fast moving melee.
Fast moving. I mean, Charlie's a very good player, so he knew what to do. We also played as Tempest at War, so it wasn't quite the same as playing a normal mission.
It changes slightly different.
Yeah. But it was like, this is -3. It's like, cool, I got a 4-up save. So
Yeah, the AP difference does make a difference.
And I realised,
power armor.
I thought, normally with my Riptide, because I got it with the Ion Cannon, which is -3, I was like, I use a stratagem I've got to turn off his invulns on his Terminators.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no point. It becomes -2. I'm a 4-up save anyway.
Yes. Yeah, that's it, yeah. It's a 4-up save or a 5-up, even with the AP reduction.
Yeah. It's such a massive change. It's changed everything.
I think 2-up armor saves across the board are going to be huge now. If you can get them, we mentioned the Sanguinary Guard should have a comeback. Terminators are going to have a good comeback. Anything that can pump out a lot of shots on the Marines will have a good comeback. That's what I'm saying about the Guard will do well, because they got a lot of lasgun shots they can pump out, and even though you're only wounding on 5s, just having the number of wounds you can do on the auto wounding on 6s is going to make a difference.
You see a lot of first rank fire, second rank fire, won't you?
Yeah. Well, I've got a list I've made which has 60 guardsmen in it. Everyone has either a las cannon, auto cannon, or something like that.
Yeah.
And
just for mass shots.
Everything has a special weapon, plasma, melter, grenade launcher, something like that.
That's amazing.
And a box.
That's going to be so cool to see that on the channel.
I've got a couple platoon commanders in there for orders and stuff like that. And now that, like, if you've got a unit within 6 inches of the unit you ordered, the other unit can get it as well.
Yeah. So the biggest prof you reckon from the balance sheet?
The biggest.
The biggest prof, the person who won out, the best winner.
I think it's got to be Space Marines.
Space Marines.
Yeah. I reckon in my mind it's so good.
I guess so. Yeah. Space Marines.
Everything
else looks like it's been designed to make other factions worse.
Because like you think,
the Knights seem to be doing quite well out of it.
Yeah, Knights have done really well. They've got their upset back again, even after this balance state sheet. So they look like they're going to do well. They've got the Codex coming out in a couple of weeks, so that's going to be amazing. Yeah, so we're going to see how they're going to come out and perform on the table, because I think their armigers are all going to go up in toughness, are all going to go up in strength. The weapon systems and output of damage will dramatically go up. So we'll see a massive change in the Knights.
Do we know what the next releases are after Knights?
Chaos Marines.
Just CSM.
Yeah. And then we've got Guard as well coming up still.
Well, Charlie,
is that the only?
So they're the last 3 codexes to come out yet.
Charlie's saying there's a rumour that the Votan might be coming out before Imperial Guard.
The
squats.
The squats. If the squats come out before the Guard, that's going to be.
He did not look happy when he was telling me about it. I was like, oh, it might be true.
No, I don't think we're going to see anything from the squats until at least Christmas. That might be the Christmas release.
Probably summer next year.
Yeah, or possibly. It might even come out with the new 10th edition. You know, we're coming up to
might be summer next year. Actually.
Well, we're coming up to the 3-year cycle that they've been pushing for the last 3 years. So it might be.
That might be delayed because of the whole COVID situation.
Yes, we could be looking at an extra year. It could be a 4-year cycle. Yeah. I think we'd prefer it because this is probably the most balanced competitive tournament game we've seen from GW in the last couple of years.
Now it is.
Now it is with the balance station. Now the Custodians and everybody else has been nerfed. The Tau's been nerfed.
Yeah.
Because Stampede's gone now.
It may not be 10th. It just might be 9.1.
Well, I'm hoping it's 9.2. Yeah, or 9.5. Yeah.
I really like 9th. So yeah.
I've really enjoyed 9th.
I just hope they start embracing some living rules.
Yeah.
We say this a lot. Though, they should do what Star Wars Legion do and have a living document.
I think that's a whole different setup to what they're producing right now, but I would like to see something in that general direction.
I'm talking fantasy here. I'd love them to do it. They're not going to do it because they make so much money from codexes.
And it's a business and they've got to keep the business going. So cheers GW. Any final questions? Any final questions, thoughts?
When are you going to start getting another army?
Well, when am I going to start playing Imperial Fist? Honestly, I want to win a tournament before I put them down. I don't know, that sounds silly.
But a good target.
I've won a doubles tournament now. Yeah, my best chance was when quad heavy bolters were good, and Centurions with heavy bolters were good.
No, and the dreadnoughts with the
twin Volkites.
The twin Volkites when they were good at the beginning. Yeah, that was my best. I did win like I said, I've won a doubles tournament. But I want to win my own GT. So once I've won my GT, I think I'll put them down and I'll pick up another army. But I am considering pulling out my guards in the back and building those, and possibly go maybe a Tau army, not a Tau army, Eldar army, because I don't think anybody's playing Eldar at the moment, and probably.
Craig at Club.
Well, we've also know that no one's playing Admech, so you never know. Might try and go down that route.
That's a fiddly army.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a few options out there. Being what we haven't got in the club, I might even go Knights.
You just reminded me. I have a box of armour just to build.
You have so much stuff.
He does.
I've had 7 or 8 armies.
Thanks for sticking around for so long. Much appreciated, guys, for tuning in.
If you're still here, well done.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, because it's just a rambling from a few old blokes.
Tell us what you've been painting while you've been listening.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Or wake up if
you're not already asleep. Drop a like, share, comment, do all the good stuff. And let us know what you'd like to see next. Take care and bye-bye.
Bye.